So it's Wednesday, the 5th of May? Or is it the 3rd of May? No, the 3rd of May. So it's Wednesday the 3rd of May, and yesterday, on the 2nd, I went to the gym, because I always go on a Tuesday, and there's a couple of people I speak to when I'm there, and not necessarily weight, just normal people I speak to. There's one guy, speak to him all the time. He's got a little bit of OCD, he suffers from a little bit of anxiety. He's actually an Anglo-Indian, so he like kind of looks, he's got darker skin, but he's actually of Indian origin, but also looks a little bit Mexican, right? And so we talk about weight training and girls and bums and stuff like that. We just have loads of different conversations. Well, I don't know what we was talking about. It got onto the subject. He goes, "Oh, have you seen the news?" I said, "No, I don't watch the telly." He goes, "Yeah," he goes, there's a guy who's retired. I went, "Oh right." He goes, he's retired, but he also resigned from the situation because he doesn't agree with it. I went, "What's that?" He goes, "Artificial intelligence." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, Elon Musk talks about that." I said, "You do realise that we're at that point?" I said, "As someone who works with computers," I said, "the AI is done on like a weighted thing, so it learns from experience over this, like a weighted, yeah, obviously AI that can think for itself with a conscience is a different algorithm altogether, and I'm pretty sure that someone is close to that already because of how, you know, the AIs that we use on our phone, etc., function and the way they listen. You know, it's quite easy to program for that. But I've always spoke about this because it does concern me, being someone who's technically minded. I've always gone, "Oh yeah, we'll be the Borg soon out of Star Trek, you know. We'll assimilate ourselves and become part of a robot and then become immortal, and that's what will draw people to it. Oh, we could be immortal and download our memories onto a database forever and upload it to a new body." And there's been a lot of sci-fis and a lot of series and lots of films and lots of stuff about that sort of thing in the past. And then a friend at work said, she goes, "Oh, me and my other half come across this by accident on the Disney Channel." Now, I have access to a Disney Channel because one of my friends has made me a login. Next, it's called. Think I ain't one to watch telly very often. I was told about it about a week and a half ago. I might have mentioned it in a video. I've watched, I think I'm on episode 3 now. It's taken me that long to get to episode 3. But wow, man, it's so like one of my worst fucking, not fears so much. Yeah, I suppose it is a fear because it literally is the demise of the human race. It's like, you know, instead of us going extinct because we've been stupid and the population, we start getting born infertile and the nature taking place of it, where you see other species sort of disappear off the planet because of environmental factors or because they're not sustainable. And, you know, species die off, and it's happened over and over again in history. But obviously we're seen as the most intelligent species, even though, you know, that's a little bit of an argument. But we're the only species on this planet that uses the elements for tools and, you know, changes the molecule consistency of different metals and minerals and, you know, with the elements, etc. So we're the only species that experiment. You don't see other animals sit around campfires eating stuff or, you know, sending water up a certain way to. Well, actually, there are a group of animals that do use wind and fire, but nothing like we use. No other animal uses tools and the elements the way we do. So we are the superior, right? Well, nature is not driving us to extinction. Maybe this is nature's way, because if we carry on rushing forward with AI the way it's being rolled out, we'll be extinct very quickly. Very quickly. You think how an artificial intelligence, it's got access to everything all the time. You know, how someone who's fucking a saffron brain or autistic can look at a picture once and then draw it perfectly. Well, think about how that's like, it amazes a lot of people. Artificial intelligence has got that 1,000 times. It's got access to every single bit of information that ever has been in a category, a library, and it can sequence and analyse it in different ways. You've got to remember, we've got a left hemisphere, and a right hand hemisphere. So if I'm using this hand, it's this side of the brain. If I'm using this hand, it's this side of the brain. Now, right hand is not the non-creative side, more of a go to the appointment, remember to do this, da 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 da. Where this side of the brain, which is this side of the brain, is the creative. Oh my God, bright light, pretty colours. Oh, pictures, association. So one side's serial and one side is parallel. If you think of it in circuitry terms, it's important, but we haven't got the same way of regurgitating information and using it as quickly as zeros and ones as an artificial intelligence has. And Elon Musk is right. This man is right. We're at a pinnacle point of the human race where if we don't actually act, it could be 10 years from now that we don't exist as we know it. Well, to be honest, in 10 years' time, we'll all be locked in houses 15 minutes. We'll have robots working for us. It'd be like that fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger dystopian sci-fi where everyone sits in this chair like this with a fucking Oculus on their head in this environment, and they take like an avatar, which is a robot version of themselves, out into the world to interact. Can't fucking think what it's called, but there's loads of this all over the place. Do you know what it's close. It's so close. It's like, oh my God, how can people still like, oh, what am I, where are we going the weekend? What are we, I don't understand how people can not worry about it. Well, I say worry about it, but not be a little bit concerned about the fact that possibly they could be extinct in 10 years if we carry on burying our head in the sand. I don't know if I want to live in that. Would you want to be immortal? Oh, I couldn't think of anything worse, I don't think. In the sense of, right, if we're immortal now because we're souls, right? You have to forget when you come back to this place in order to have an experience that's different. Otherwise it would be boring as fuck, wouldn't it? Could you imagine immortality? Oh, how fucking boring. Oh God, you would have to forget every fucking experience, definitely. So I'm just putting that out there. AI, a little bit of a problem. So yeah, I'm going to go now because I don't know what else to say and my dinner's ready. So yeah, peace, love and light. Hope you're all good. Let's press stop.